レクイエム。
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Sho back with another video, and today, interesting topic for today's video. I'm talking about Demon Slayer. Did Demon Slayer game, did it die? Is it alive? Did it die? Honestly, the short answer, no, it didn't die. The long answer, yeah, it's kind of dying. You know, I thought about this topic because a little cousin of mine, I just found out he's basically really into anime, and you know, me being a big cousin, I was basically gonna buy him a lot of stuff for Christmas revolving around anime, and he was basically telling me that Dr. Stone and Demon Slayer was some of his favorite anime. Obviously, Demon Slayer is a very well-known anime hit, because I mean, to me, it's a really good anime. I don't want to say great. It's a tad overrated because people were calling it the best thing ever, like it was the best thing that was ever written. It's pretty decent. It has pretty much every general shonen stereotype that you could pretty much put in an anime like that, but it does it in a kind of a unique way, if that makes any sense. Like, yeah, it has the trope, parents getting killed and stuff, and going on a journey to save someone, and it basically does things that shonen has done before, but it looks nice. It's a decent enough story to follow, so I think it's a pretty good anime. Like I said, just kind of vastly overrated in the sense that people were thinking it was the best thing ever since episode 19. But enough about the show. I want to talk about the game for a second. But now, when I actually heard about the Demon Slayer game, I was very excited. It was during the time where obviously the anime had already been out, but you know, we were really, for me in general, I really didn't think there were going to be a Demon Slayer game. But honestly, as popular as it was definitely going to be a Demon Slayer game. And with such high popularity, it was also announced that CyberConnect 2 was going to be doing a Demon Slayer game, so we all just fell up beside ourselves, because CyberConnect 2 is such a great studio. At least from my perspective, they've done great games like Storm and Kakarot and such, and you gotta think, okay, it's gonna be like Storm, it's gonna be like Kakarot. Then it was actually announced it was a fighter, and you know, so obviously we were going the Naruto and the Storm route. So long story short, we'll move on to where it actually released. It released, and I forgot all about it. I didn't actually pre-order it because I don't pre-order games anymore, because that's just bad practice. So when I finally got around to actually playing it, pretty much everybody else was ahead of me in the story. So I took a day where I had a day off the next day, and I basically just played all the way through the story. The story was short, but as far as fighting games, especially by CyberConnect 2, you don't really want to expect too much, because they have really good story, really good story modes for fighting games that you normally don't see in fighting games. But for me, it seems like they did more of the route of Storm 4. I was wishing they would do it a little bit more unique. As far as what I mean by Storm 4, it was a little bit mixture of Storm 4 and maybe like Storm 1 of Naruto. And not in gameplay, but in story way. It was basically like you would have hubs where you would go and do a mission, then you'll move on to another place. But, you know, it was all a big overworld where you would actually select the next mission, and then the mission was kind of very linear. It wasn't really an open world experience. And I'm not saying that every game has to be like Naruto Broken Bond. We have a more story-focused adventure, but it's all set in the open world map. I'm not saying it has to be something like that. I'm just saying in general, I thought it was going to be a little bit better with the story mode. I understood that the story was going to be kind of short, because I have completely read the entire Demon Slayer manga, and obviously the end is controversial. I won't really spoil it for you guys here, but I definitely think there's some high points and low points of the manga. And where we're at right now, we're basically in the honeymoon phase. I feel like the next arc that's coming up, it's supposed to be releasing soon, is going to be a really good arc, and that'll make for a really good second game. Now, before I start jumping into the main topic, even though we're already minutes into this video, I want to talk about the show as it relates to the game. Now, obviously, when you have a first game of a franchise, it's more likely they're just figuring things out. They're just trying to figure out how they want to go with things before they put in too many new features and stuff. They want to just give you a base idea of what the first game is like, and then when it comes out with the second game, it's going to be a better game entirely. I feel like this is something similar to what Naruto Storm 1 and 2 achieved. For me, Storm 1 had a nice little Leaf Village world or whatever, but it was lacking a couple of things. Storm 2 came in with the best story boss fights ever, and it just kind of shook up the whole game. Now that we talked about the game and the anime together, let's talk about just the game. Now, as far as the game goes, I actually had a lot of fun playing it. I played it with nobody, actually. No, I actually never got to fight anybody, because we'd all got the game, but we dropped it probably about a good month after the game's released. So we never ended up getting to fight each other. Maybe we'll go back and fight each other one day, but as for right now, the game really wasn't doing it for me. They released Akaza and Rui as DLC characters, DLC demons and stuff. A lot of people were really skeptical because they didn't include a lot of demon characters in it, and they felt like the game was kind of holding stuff back. I do agree that the game felt like it was holding something back. One thing I really hated, I understood why they did it, and I understood that they didn't really cheap out on it, as it were. Basically, they put like 7 water style users in the game. You had Urodaki, you had his 2 students, Sabito, and I forgot the girl's name. Then you had like Tanjiro, he was a water style user. Then you had Murata, he was a water style user. And somebody actually, one of the comments in the video was talking about the reason why they had so many water users is basically because it's the easiest style to learn. But that's not really the question here. The question is why they put specifically those users in there. Like, I just felt like they were kind of filler characters. It was more like with, and I don't like to compare the games that much, but I keep doing it a lot in this video, so I'm gonna try to stop. But this is the last comparisons. As far as Naruto had a vast amount of characters, so I can see why they had a lot more to work with for their first game. But as far as Demon Slayer, it's really only Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Nezuko. That's really it, unless you include some of the random demons that you had to fight. But that's the thing, like, this game is a little bit different than some other game where you can include those demons as like bad characters. The demons really aren't main villains. The main villain himself, you really don't see him fight until like the end of the manga. You really don't care too much about the lower moons, even though I feel like they would have been good characters to play as. Like the characters with the arrow and stuff, that would have been a cool character to play as. It's like a cool fighting mechanic or whatever. That would have been a really cool thing to see. I feel like they really missed the mark on that. Obviously, I'm not mad at Sabito and the girl was actually put in there, but I just felt like there could have been more characters. I mean, obviously you had Giyu, and you had the butterfly girl, and they was really cool characters. Murata could have been left off the roster, if you ask me. And it's really good that this game came out towards the Mugen Train arc, because definitely would have needed Rengoku as a character and Akaza. So I'm glad that they was actually able to add 2 characters in there. And obviously I know that the game is going to be better in the second installment. They're going to have a lot more characters with a lot more variety. But the reason why I asking is did it die is just simply because for me personally, and I'm not talking for you guys, I'm just asking a simple question of what do you think the game fell off or not. For me personally, it fell off. It really fell off for me. Akaza and the Spider Demon got released or whatever, and honestly, I didn't really give it a second thought. I didn't want to go back. I went online and was killed by like Rengoku and killed by Urodaki. By the time I really realized that Urodaki wasn't even that bad, I just didn't want to play anymore. I kept disconnecting and I just decided to drop the game. It was not fun anymore. I was pretty much done. And that's why I'm asking this question. Because are you guys still playing it? It's still a dedicated player base. I'm pretty sure it's one guy that's out here showing everybody how to do like 1,000 different combos. There always is a guy that basically masters every fighting game he plays, but that's just not me. From a casual standpoint, a person who doesn't really like ranked, because I'll play ranked, but I'm not really a big fan of ranked. I'm not really a big fan of try-hard fighting games. I think the last fighting game I really got excited for was Fighters, and that's when I actually went and played ranked and did pretty good. But I've never really been a ranked fighting guy. I'm just like a casual fighting player. Like, I like casual fighting games. Now, while this was probably the best fighting game to come out as far as anime wise in the recent years, considering that Fighters has already been out for a while, and you know, considering we had games like One's Justice and stuff, I definitely think this is probably the best fighter we've had. But I just don't think it's lasting. It doesn't have any lasting hope, and a lot of that is due to not having that kind of couch co-op no more. Everybody's like so separated these days with COVID, and you know, everybody not everybody is going to their friend's house and just popping this game in and playing it or whatever. Everybody's playing it online. It's just a different feel from what it was back then. I do think that Naruto Storm could have lasted in today's generation, but it would have been a lot different, because you know, it was different when you had to go bring the game to your friend's house just to get beat in your own game. With that being said, guys, let me know, did you think this game died? Honestly, I'm just waiting for more DLC. I'm not gonna pronounce his funeral just yet. I'm just waiting for more DLC to see what we got. And thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next video.